made of glass. She opens her eyes and realizes that she is lying on her back. The snowflakes are falling on her eyes. She blinks and sees that Leah, the sheep, is standing at her side, staring out to sea. Now whiter than ever, it is as calm as milk. There are no birds, except for the 3 cormorants sitting on the skerry to which they have given their name, and not even they are making any sound. Barbro digs her fingers into Leah's wet fleece and drags herself to her feet. The other sheep stand watching. She picks up the pitchfork, feels a protracted stab of pain pass through her waist, and herds the flock in front of her up the same track to the marsh pond where they cut peat in the summer. She knocks a hole in the ice crust so that the animals can drink, and one by one they waddle up the slope unprompted and disappear into the barn. Finally Barbro sets off, her right hand still buried in Leah's wool, and she doesn't let go until this sheep too is swallowed up by the darkness. She bolts the door behind her and stands with her gaze fixed on the farmhouse, but fails to see the hand waving in the kitchen window. Barbro turns and follows the path leading to the new wharf house, goes into the baiting shed, and stares down at the 3 holes in the bottom of an empty line tub as the wind rattles a loose board in the south-facing wall. She sits down, grabs a bodkin and twine, and her hands set about making netting. The door opens, and a voice asks what she is sitting here for. "Aren't the freezing?" It is Ingrid, who had seen her aunt from the kitchen window, and wondered why, after going down to the quay, which Barbro often does, she hadn't come back up to the house today. And a long time had passed. Evening was drawing in. Barbro turns and fixes her with an intent gaze and asks, "Who are thou?" Ingrid moves closer and peers at her, tucks a few strands of hair under her headscarf, and realizes that she will have to answer this absurd question truthfully and at great length. 1. It is summer on Barroy, 1946. The down has been gathered, the eggs are in barrels, the fish have been collected from the racks and weighed and tied, the potatoes have been planted, the lambs are gambolling in the acres, and the calves have been weaned from their mothers. The peat has to be cut, and the old house needs painting, so it has no cause to feel ashamed beside the new one. From the hill behind the barn, Ingrid Barroy is watching the boat in the bay, a cloud of terns above it. It is a whale catcher, the Salthammer, which they acquired when the previous owner went bankrupt. The Barroyers have become whalers. The Salthammer has a harpoon cannon on the bow, and on the mast a white crow's nest with a black ring around its middle. It has rigging like a sailing ship and a wheel atop the wheelhouse roof, encircled by a white tarpaulin. There is a bait house and a modern line setter. It is an imposing vessel for all seasons and occasions. Ingrid can hear the sound of hammering and sees Lars and Felix making preparations for the first whale hunt. Small boys running to and fro along the deck. She can hear their voices rising and falling from across the water, and Kaia is sleeping on her back in a shawl. Then her daughter wakes up. Ingrid unwraps her and lets her crawl about in the heather to her heart's content, and is startled at the sight of her jet-black eyes. Takes her into her arms and walks down the hill toward the garden, where the soft fruit bushes have begun to bud. She sits on the well cover next to the newly purchased tub of paint and brushes. There are so many things that have to be done on the island. It has never had a brighter future. It has never had so many inhabitants. And it is no longer hers. Ingrid goes into the kitchen and places Kaia on Barbro's lap, walks down to the shore and rows the faring out to the Salthammer, waits until Lars looks over the gunwale.